What is up, Dama nerds? We're back again with episode 22 here in my little lone studio, hanging out with the internet squad going on over here. We got MJ as always. What's up, MJ?
What's up, dude? Really psyched for episode 22 of Damanerds. I'm super excited because we have some special guests. Not one guest, but two guests for today's episode 22. And one of the guests is our very first guest. If all the nerds have been hanging out with us since, what was that, episode 3 or some shit?
It was episode 3, I think. You're
Today,
right.
over in the Sweets studio, we got Matt Sweets Jorgensen.
What up, everybody? How's it going? Sweets here, back in the studio.
Yeah, and I mentioned we have two guests, so it's not just Sweets. Right next to him is the one and only Cody Griz.
Yo, what's up? How's it going? Excited to be here. First time talker, long time ear user. Excited to be a nerd officially.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Awesome to have you guys on this show for episode 22. It's going to be a good one. And why it's going to be a good one?
I was going to say we're off to a good start. I already forgot to say the date.
Oh, hey.
It's Monday, October 21st. The 12th year of Sander,
yes,
and for me it is 9 a.m. I'm the early bird over here.
Yeah, dude.
And we got
your face,
Sweets guys. You guys are what, 11 a.m.?
Yes, sir. Just about noon.
Yeah. And MJ, what time you got over there, buddy?
1:12 in the morning.
He's in the future.
I am.
Yeah, he's in the future.
The future.
Yes.
We're just waking up. MJ's over here drinking a beer, hanging out.
Getting ready to get loose.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about, don't we?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the best part. This is the recap episode of NAKO, everyone. There's a lot of people who went and were a part of it. The three of you guys were a part of it. I was digitally a part of it.
Yeah.
My eyeballs were on watching the live stream.
Yeah, caught you in the Twitch stream a couple of times, chatting
dude.
it up.
Oh yeah. I was trying to, have people get amped, trying to bring the stoke to the fucking chat because
Bring the stoke.
everyone was just like, I don't know, I guess just watching, which
Yeah.
I guess that's what you're supposed to do. So, we can get a conversation going.
Yeah.
But
That's why Twitch is great, though,
yeah. But first and foremost, can we get a round of applause, everyone? Round of applause for
Little nerd round of applause.
for Sweets.
Thank you.
You
Thank
guys,
you.
Appreciate it.
putting a bigger event. I'm sure it was a huge fucking challenge compared to the last few years. Not only from the name change, but I think the biggest thing is probably new venue. For me, where I work, we do a lot of events, and I know it's always such a hassle looking for a venue that can fit whatever event and then going there and prepping for it. And I'm sure the tech side you guys had to worry about, as well as like the amount of participants, was fucking insane.
I mean, just knowing that we wanted to change venues this year before we were even 100% that we wanted to change date and name and literally everything that changed. Sweets and I started looking at venues in February, March, something like that last year, to try to find a new spot, and it's a process, to say the very least.
Yeah. I mean, with all the changes we made, I was curious about how many people were going to come too, and man, people came out again, with all the changes, it's hard to know what to expect, but all the people who've been to the past years came in full, they all came out.
So many new players, though. So many new people. A lot of the same faces we've seen every year. People coming since the first one, but so many new people. So many new people traveling from Texas and Florida and the Northeast, coming from Connecticut and stuff. It was
everywhere.
Wild.
Josh did the circle to start the whole weekend, the P-Stick circle, and there had to have been almost 100 people in that circle saying their name and where they're from, and I think 90% of them were not from Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it was, and for the first time ever, they were above 21 years old. A lot of people were above 18 years old, 21 years old, and that was a majority for the first time ever. It was not little kids running around everywhere asking for autographs. There were
a few of those, though.
No,
there were
I'm not saying there weren't, but less than years past.
Right.
More, there were adults coming to me with markers asking me to sign stuff. It was just a little bit. Yeah. But that's cool, though, too. It's different.
It was definitely awesome. I mean, one of the main reasons why the name change wanted to happen was when we looked at the statistics from 2018, 80% of the people coming to MKO were not from Minnesota. So we knew that the fact of the matter was we were not a Minnesota event anymore. You know, we had people coming from not only just across our country, but from the world. And, you know, that's what inspired the big name change. And to see even more non-Minnesotans come out this year was just awesome. I mean, it was...
Is that what they're called?
It's always exciting.
Minnesotans? I thought it would be Minnesotians.
Minnesotans.
No, it's Minnesotans.
Is there another one? Is there another
Minneapolites?
nickname? Yeah.
No, Minnesotans, crazy people, right?
Crazy people?
But yeah, because we live in the snow so much, just no different than Canadians up there, eh?
No, fuck yeah.
I was just
bud.
thinking,
Hey, what up?
Yeah.
What is like Wisconsin's or cheeseheads like?
We're the land of 10,000 lakes.
Yes, or
Yeah.
Lakeheads?
lake people, lakeheads, Lakers.
Yeah, you guys.
We're
bunch of
Minnesotans.
canoers.
We're Minnesotans, dude. I don't know. There is no like derogatory
zesty-
term for
Oh, no?
Minnesotans. You know?
Dude, 'cause
You're too nice for that.
Man, as an outsider, I know Minnesota as a place with, like you said, 10,000 lakes, and then I personally know it as a place with a bunch of like really dope rappers that come from.
Yeah,
which is
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
It's one of the reasons I
underground
moved
white
here.
rappers, right?
Not only, but yeah,
Yeah, a lot of them.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just say because like in Connecticut, where I'm from, it's so weird. Because what do you call someone from Connecticut? You guys know?
A
no.
Canesian? I don't
Right?
know.
The other Canuck,
Right.
the other Canuck.
So there's two names. One is the more official one is Connecticution.
Whoa.
Is that, like,
Sounds
Really-
sounds
That's
like you're
very
about to murder
technical.
someone.
Yeah.
The second
It
one,
sounds
my
like
favorite, Nutmegger.
What?
Nutmegger.
Yo,
What?
we're a bunch of
Who the
nutmeggers in
fuck?
Connecticut.
Play a lot of soccer.
All right.
I think we just put nutmeg on a lot of shit when we're cooking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So weird, dude.
That's a.
Maybe-
I'm gonna start calling you a nutmegger from
Fucking
now on. You nutmegger,
nutmeggers,
you.
right? It's so good.
yeah.
But it's like what
That just it sounds wrong though. Like
It
that
does.
sounds. I don't know what it is. Like, oh, nutmeg, this nice little fall spice. But no, when you call somebody that just doesn't sound
Yeah,
good.
I
That
think
no.
the last part of it is not to doesn't sound
It's
too
very,
friendly
like-
to the ear. Maybe it sounds similar to something else, but in any
Pretty aggro sounding.
yeah, yeah. But
Agriculture.
but so you changed the name to NAKO. I know Smith was trying to change the name on you at the Downspike
He
Awards.
came
oh,
at-
he's got his own
He
campaign
came
going.
at me. Yeah, he came at me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was good.
like you guys are the only like big company that's throwing such a big event. So was there anyone saying like, "Hey, like you can't just take over and say you are the North American Kendama Open"? Like like there's the EKO
No,
and
we-
stuff.
No.
Yeah, we got zero pushback on the name. Like the most pushback has come from people just not knowing how to say it.
Yeah.
It's not people understand why, and no one's
Yeah.
arguing that we are the biggest. So that's never been a thing.
Yeah.
But and in all honesty, everyone said it different all weekend, and I
Yeah.
could care less. Like it really doesn't
Right?
matter to me at all how they say it or what they say because. It's more about what the name means and what it stands for. And on a piece of paper, when someone sees that sponsorship document in front of their
Yep.
face on their desk, that's really the only person I care that
Yeah,
that sees what it says. And it is a little annoying to say. I will give Smith that, but like NKO is the National Kendama Open, and we have an international event, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
just seemed to like, even though North America is not international, we
it
thought
is,
about
yeah.
it. We had 2 meetings like
Oh,
for
we had-
hours on end
yeah.
to figure out what we exactly were gonna do, and we searched URLs for days, and like it was.
We looked at hashtags, we looked at URLs, we looked at all
Yeah.
kinds of things to see, if we changed it to this, does it have a different connotation? Is there this, that, the other? I think as to answer your question about pushback from any of the other companies, I mean, we've got one of the things another thing that I love. I'm probably just going to talk about things I love about the event because it was a good event.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
I'm in a very positive mind space, but like we give a platform to all the other North American kendama companies. We've got Souls represented, Kusa's
Yeah.
represented, a bunch of
active analog,
analog,
pineapple.
GT.
Thank you,
Mhm.
GT, and even new companies, Lotus and
Quill.
Quill, both brand new companies who support. So like, even though it is a Sweets and Kendama Institute event, it is a platform for all of kendama
Right.
to share and spread and grow in our community, and that's like, I think that's the main reason why there wasn't pushback, because we're not, there weren't 2 competing events already.
Right.
We were already doing.
You were doing the huge
biggest.
event.
Totally.
Yeah, that was in America.
Yeah. I was going to mention that too. I feel like with the MKO and all the stuff you guys have previously done, you've already proven that like this is a world-class event, and like so people are already just like, oh, they're going to call it that. That's chill. Like it's not like this new event where people are like, oh, well, it's this new big one, but what about this one? There's no question involved.
Like, come on, what about Van Jam?
It just makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And the name change is weird for anybody. Like it's weird for us. We said MKO up until like a month before the event in our own office, because it's really hard to change after 6 years. But
it's code switching. It's very challenging. I still say MKO every once in a while.
Yeah, but
I do too.
Yeah, no, same. But it worked, and I think the first NAKO was awesome, and all our MKO memories will be awesome memories. 5 years from now, and we'll laugh at the fact that it was called the Minnesota Kendama Open, because it's going to be so big. Like,
hell yeah.
It's the thing I'm most excited about is like we change everything every year almost for NAKO. Like we've changed what events happen, how they happen. Like every year there's a new competition added. There's something new every year, and this next year in 2020 will maybe be the first year where we keep everything the same. For 1 year to the next. Like, we're going to try to get the same hotel, the same venue, the same everything, the same dates, the same hotel, so that, like, everyone who saw how much fun we all had this year can now plan next year. Like, we want to announce it before the end of the year when NAKO 2020 is happening, so everyone can plan. There's no reason not to be there. Like, I want to stuff the Varsity. Like, that was my new goal, is, like, get that Varsity Theater packed with people, because that there's room for us to multiply. So like our goal next year now is to just double everything we did this year and get it back up to like a huge number.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What was the attendee? How many people?
It's a little hard to track because we have spectators and we have competitors. Right. So I actually haven't done the math of the exact number. It was as far as competition goes, there were, I want to say it was 367 rounds of competition across all things, across all different divisions. And then we had close to 200 spectators estimated, because that number is a little bit harder to track. So we were on par with other years, a little bit less in the competition than the previous MKO, but more spectators, it seems. It's the spectator count, this is the first year that we charged spectators like an admission cost, so we have a better number than we've ever had before. But the fact that the number of people just coming to watch was on par with how many people are competing, it's those numbers aren't too far apart. Like, that's another thing that we're always looking to grow. That comes down to the vending, comes down to the Kendama Institute classes that were happening, the Kente testing, the Don testing, the and just the showmanship of going to the Varsity and having a bar that runs all day and an amazing light crew make sure that everything looks dope on stage. It's exciting.
Which it did. Hell yeah.
Right. Yeah. It and good job on the live stream, because that's how I was experiencing the whole thing. It was definitely really nice comparing it to Glowken. I mean, like small things, just being able to hear everything the whole time. Maybe it's because you're on Twitch and maybe Glowken does YouTube, so they have to watch out for copyright with the music and stuff.
Yeah.
So I always remember that like blowing. I'm like, I can watch this Zuma Donkey performance quietly.
Yeah, so there's
I didn't know that. Crazy.
Yeah, no, that was definitely really funny when everybody in the chat was like, why is there no music happening during this epic performance?
Yeah.
I think so Twitch still does censoring copyrighted songs, but they do it after the fact. So they never mute you while you're live.
That's nice.
Which is kind of a bummer. For like the Downspike Awards, we posted that up on YouTube, and like, a chunk of that is muted, which is kind of sucks.
Yes. But I remember I wanted to hear Rod fucking speak more Japanese, and that's when it cut out.
Yeah. And that's what got muted, because
I'm the only one that can probably understand right now. Let's go.
Dude, pretty much, yeah.
it was because a Run the Jewels song got used, and the copyright levels are just different, and the YouTube to Twitch, like, they both have different.
That
gets complicated. The one thing I do have to say is, I mean, Gloken has a whole TV studio running their live stream, and I look to them in an envious level of the it is so clean, it is so pristine, and you know, for us it was me with our CEO's laptop, a GoPro, and an audio mixer. That was all we had running.
But I would like to say that it felt like, even though it was like more on the DIY side, it felt more close. So for me, being like a person who knows a lot of the people, it was nice to kind of be close, where the Kendama World Cup, it has maybe more of a grander scale to it, feels like, but then like I feel more distant. So then that's the negative part to that.
I'm very glad you brought all that up, because one thing I wanted to ask you is, did you notice that there was no live commentator this year?
Oh, of course. Compared to the last years, yeah. You had your two dudes.
Is that a good or a bad thing, in your opinion? Because you said you got to hear everything. Like, there wasn't someone talking over you trying to hear everything.
Yeah, yeah, totally. There was plenty of times, what was that, towards the beginning or like the second day, the morning of, just like you, Matt, talking to Cody, like, what? I can start now? Yeah. We're good. Okay. Hey, everyone.
We did have a little commentary, specifically Bjorn, Haley Bischoff.
Yes, there was one section.
Danny Rankin and Chad and I think Aenetter all came on very briefly on days 1 and 2. I just had them come on for a little bit when it was, you know, we were kind of running down. It was the losers bracket, and they were around it just for a little extra zest. But versus having the full commentary, I mean, it was one of my biggest headaches every year is not only just paying attention to the overall event, but the live stream. You know, last year we ran it with like a number of iPads running off Wi-Fi. We had issues when we were at the Mall of America where the internet just wasn't working. So the first hour of finals wasn't live.
Wow.
This year, I literally could cry thinking about how consistent the stream was. We were at excellent streaming quality the entire time, which you know is just a huge headache relief. And also, the not having commentators meant there were fewer moving parts, but also like it was a bummer on my end because I loved having people talking a little bit more insight. So it's good to hear some feedback from somebody who watched it versus lived it.
Yeah, definitely. The commentating part was good, but at sometimes it would almost like be too much, and I wouldn't be able to focus on what's happening on stage. Like, so depending on when it's placed and maybe what people can talk about, what the commentators maybe shouldn't talk about. Maybe like you shouldn't just like joke around of what you guys had in the morning when there could be maybe better stuff to talk about. And I guess that's why there's the job of a commentator in sports. Like, they know what they need to talk about and how to entertain, keep people engaged, not only with the conversation, but what's happening on screen too.
Yeah, exactly. And we just did not have it in the budget this year to add those people again, which usually we do. But this year is one of those things where we're like, oh, let's just, Cody's got a lot to worry about. Let's just have him have a really good stream. Let's not worry about all the other stuff. So I'm glad it worked out. Maybe next year we can have some commentating for the last day or something for someone who knows how to be poignant about it, right?
Yeah, dude.
Well, I like the fact that you guys did so there's no commentator for most of the time, but that being said, there's always someone on stage, whether it's like you, Sweets, or Bjorn, or someone talking about what's going on and stuff, and essentially commentating for all the spectators that are in attendance.
You're totally
not
right.
so much the live stream. So there is some commentating, right? But then also you guys had some other people, like you said. And, I also jumped on there for like a good minute or two or something like that, and just talking with people in the chat and just. And like I don't even remember. I started like commentating because I didn't know what to talk about. I think we're just like, so we're just hanging out there and blah blah blah, right? But that's cool because then you get like kind of the best of both worlds. So you're getting like the real event experience because you're seeing and hearing everything that's happening off of the stage, and then also you get like the other people's perspective when like there's more downtime. Like you said, you get like people that come in and come talk for a couple minutes about shit.
Yeah,
I think it's a good mix.
Yeah, the commentating's hard, man, and it's like. It's something I realized this year where, like, I'm the main MC, and then I have people help me throughout, right? And they're just here to help. They're not being paid. They're just, like, volunteers, essentially, who help. And so, they come and they go, and there was one point where, it was girls open or intermediate, not intermediate. I don't know. It was just something where things were moving along and everything was fine. And I thought everything was great. And then I was gone for 5 minutes and Bjorn put the mic down. And so there's no commentating for like 5 minutes. And when I got back, everyone was like, where are you at? What was going on? This and that.
Shit.
And I was like, and to me, it just seems so like second nature that I'm just kind of talking about what's going on, telling people, hey, here's what's happening, here's who's up, blah, blah, blah. So when you don't hear anything for 5 minutes at an event like ours, it's like, it stands out a lot. And I forget that because, you know, I'm not the one listening to it in my ear all day to Sweets just talking about what's happening. But when that's absent, it's a big deal. So, but you just reminded me of that when they could hear me on the stream, and I forget that they can hear me on the stream. So I was doing that.
I would like to add though, like, when Cody, if you had when you had people jump on and say a little something, like that was really cool. That's one thing I always wanted with like Kendama World Cup in the past with their live streams. Like I want someone on the floor with like one camera and a fucking mic. And like going around talking to people. Hey, how you doing today? Where are you coming from today? And talk to like the pros and shit.
We always want to do that when we talk about it, and we kind of did it a little bit the last few years. The hard part is just figuring out the when, because a parent watching at home, like for us, even though I personally like want to see beginner and intermediate grow each year, it's not always the most exciting for like pros to watch, and that's the perfect time to talk to them because they're not invested, they're not watching their teammates, you know, they're still hyping up the kids on stage, hopefully, but then also you have a parent at home watching their kid competing in intermediate, and we're all of a sudden talking over that, and that's where it gets like the, you know, that's why the losers bracket is actually like, to me, it's a perfect time because that person already had their time on stage, and if they make it on to the finals, they'll have their time on stage again.
They're
and
already
like,
losers.
You know, they still have a chance to win, but it's a little bit less. In my opinion, the losers bracket's lower pressure because they already lost once. You know, like and it gives us a little bit of time for that, but also, you know, again, you don't want to talk over. Yeah, it's hard. It's a you know, politics isn't the right word for it, but it's definitely like a math game of like, all right, when is this actually needed to keep the stream entertained, but also not overpowering and rude to what's actually happening on stage, because you know, kids spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to get out here to compete, to have literal minutes on that stage.
Right. It can, that definitely can be tough, but it's like. Maybe it's difference in scale and stuff, but I think about, I don't know, say some extreme, like X Games or something, or something along those lines where, you know, you'll never see the amateur runs until you
I was going to say
upload
the
it
same
online,
thing,
you know? But it's really nice of you to think about that. To step back, I was laughing so much, Matt, when you were like on stage, like, all right, next up is the losers bracket. And then you're like, we got to change the name. It doesn't sound too nice. Like, we were just calling them the losers the whole time.
Get on stage, losers.
We're the losers. Losers, get ready to get on stage.
If you know any losers, make sure they're in the room because losers are about to compete next.
Maybe we call it the not so winners bracket or something.
The first loser,
second chance.
Second chancers, the second dancers. Let's call them the nutmeggers.
The nutmeggers.
All right, you nutmeggers, get on stage.
When you say loser enough times over a weekend, you definitely start to second guess that word.
Right.
But I mean, it's like technical though. I mean,
I mean, it is what it is. It's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
It's definitely not wrong.
Crazy.
Not exactly nice, but
well, no different with the yank spike comp. Like, everyone, let's get ready to yank it. You know, like, doesn't sound great to normal people.
We're having a yank off in 2 minutes. Get in here.
Yeah, people who don't know what's going on are definitely like, am I in the right room?
Man.
I definitely heard some people.
That.
Dude, how about 18 yanks,
oh my
though?
God, 18
yanks in 1 minute is what Josh Kim did to get to the finals.
It's ridiculous.
We've got his Dama from that, and it is the most destroyed Dama I've ever. Like, it looks like it got chewed on.
It was Paduke on a beach, so it just ate it apart.
Okay.
The Ken was perfect condition. He gifted the Ken to somebody else because it was still, the spike was not flat at all because it was a Paduke Kaizen or whatever. It was,
dude,
but it gives you splinters. It's so dented. hurts to hold the Dama.
Yeah.
It's one every 3 seconds, man. That's literally. I thought I would say it would be impossible. You know, like
considering that 3 years ago, adding the yank spike competition was like a joke, and you were a little against it. It was Norks and Cooper who wanted it. It was Max Norcross and Cooper were fighting. They were like, "Yo, this is so tight. We need it for content, and also like it's a cool mini game." And Sweets was like, we'll do it as like a mini game or whatever. And they were like, no, we need to do it big. And
do it as like
we made that first trophy that Mags won with the golden yank, and like it's evolved to like what I consider actually like a very exciting part of the weekend. Like if you're there for it. Okay. Just all these dudes yanking off in one room, you know, you can't really beat it.
That's funny. I totally hear you, Sweet. So that's definitely like the old school kendama player in us, where it's like fucking yanks, whatever.
I was like, not about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was walking around just being like, "What are you guys doing?" This isn't how you play. Yeah. Now I know how the JKA feels. You guys are doing it wrong.
It's so 2015 of us to still be doing it, but I think it's fun just for kids to bang up one Dama for 15 minutes of the weekend. Yeah,
I really do wonder what because we had the vice president of the JK in the building. I wonder if he was. That would have been the perfect person to get a reaction from.
Just wondering. I mean, on that note, I wonder what he thought of the weekend. Period.
The whole thing.
From the party, because he came to the party on Thursday. He was there for everything. You know.
Oh yeah.
He was walking around in his jacket, and it was funny. The people at the bar were like, "Yeah, there's like a business dude here. What's going on?" And we were like, "Yeah, no, this guy is like
that's his clothes.
That's his style. That's his swag right there." But we definitely need to get the feedback from them for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed like he had a good time. They did a lot of networking. They did a lot of people, dude. Rodney, it's one thing that like I definitely, I mean MJ too, but it's something that I forget being a kendama player has been able to be tested by the JKA so many times. Like I've been tested many times along my journey.
How many times have you tried to go for that?
Let's not talk about how many times I've tried 6 times, but
well, that's true.
But
every time he comes back from Japan, did you get it, Sweets? He's like,
I would have. They were trying to get me to do it on stage at the event. They were trying to get me to do it in a room at the event, and I really had no time and no focus to put towards it, so I didn't get to.
Biggest bummer.
You didn't get to it.
Test.
Me and Royce didn't either because I had to be one of the judges, and I just didn't have the time. You know, didn't make the time. Let's say, probably is more right.
I mean, you were so busy. I mean, come on.
It's one of those things that it was like I didn't even have the time to think about putting towards that for a half hour of so it was. But
time to warm up.
That's
and
besides
then
my point. Besides my point. Yeah. What the point was is that. They came to do testing, which is something that's never happened at an American event. No one from the JK, like an official person, has flown over here.
Yeah, they don't have
to
passports.
Do something. No, and they don't have passports. Excuse me.
They do. That's one
thing inside facts about the JKA.
But there were more than a few people who were like, yo, thank you so much for having the JKA come. Like, I thought I would never be able to do testing in my whole life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, crazy. Like, because to me, it's such a second nature thing that I'm almost like forced to do it at this point. And there's so many kids who've been playing as long as me who even like Austin Donovan haven't had a chance to like ever do that, you know? And to them, it was like, holy crap, I can get my Don and be official. And so that was a really cool addition to the weekend that I kind of overlooked as something that, the JK is coming fun. And then they actually had a lot of people train in. I mean, so that was really cool.
If only we could have announced it earlier. There were so many people in the like the FKC and Instagram saying like, oh my God, if I had known that I had the option to do JK Don testing, I would have 100% been there, which is, hopefully we get them to come back next year. Hopefully their experience was as good as our perception of their experience, because definitely added value, something to, not everybody's ready to compete on stage, but a lot of players loved it. For every feedback I got was positive. I just wish I had been able to do it. It was a dream lost on my end, I guess,
You just have to make your way out to Japan, Cody.
Yeah, Sweets. Just
Cody needs to start a GoFundMe, I think.
That's a conversation we have pretty much any time. Sweets is like, going to an event. I'm like, I mean, I'll go if you need somebody.
And then you just got to bug Glowcan and be like, remember all those really sick little visuals that were going on at the NAKO that you guys don't have?
That wasn't me though. That was
Oh, you don't tell them.
Dude, and for the record, Morocco was like, he did that on the fly that morning. And so he's like, now that I know what they can do, next year's going to be insane.
No, not even that morning. He did all the photos of the verses that were happening at the Varsity. All of that was being done every round.
No,
when we had 2 winners, he was making the next one.
Oh, shit.
He built the templates, a couple weeks before, but he was making each of those graphics as it happened, which is just huge hands down to have praise. I
didn't have to stall at all on stage. We
were all kind of blown away by how smooth that worked, and next year is just going to be even better. And he kind of hates that he set himself up to have to do better, but we're excited to see what it's going to be.
Most
there you go, Glowken. It's a package deal. You got 2 guys to bring.
Just bring me and Rogue out.
There you go.
Dude, that's what's up. Well, Rod, hey, I got a question for you. Can I switch the tables?
Sure.
So you came to the event. You've been to almost every one of them, In your opinion, where does this one rank and what made it better or worse than other years?
Honestly, I want to say that this was maybe the best one. And as far as all the other ones that I've gone to and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that being said, one of the reasons I think it's the best is because we had everybody all together, like in the hotel, and everything was really close. Like the event was there. So like even if there's like stragglers who didn't come to the like actual like watch like the stage and shit the whole time, they're like in the building, you'd still see everyone pretty frequently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it was a smaller hotel.
Yeah, you guys had that last year as well, though, too, didn't you?
Yeah, but it was an enormous hotel
last
with
year
1 million
was
rooms.
So huge, and there was so many food options within walk. There was so many amazing points of it, but it was too big. Yeah. It was you could not have seen people that came because they were off jamming in that jam room, or
no, totally. That's I see what you're saying.
There were like, we had access to like 3 different event spaces pretty much at that hotel. The actual event space, the jam room, which was like a poolside space, and then there was this giant atrium area that people had access to jam in too.
Was that the Bulldog Room?
The Bulldog Room, yeah.
Yeah, I saw so many stories and shit of that. I was laughing my fucking ass off the whole time.
No, I went to go sign a contract before the event, and there were goats everywhere. Then we do kendama, and then then the last day of our event, there's just bulldogs everywhere. Just everybody's riding in elevators with these, fancy award-winning bulldogs. That hotel does some events.
That's fucking awesome. Goats and shit. What else do they do? They got any big animals? They got like the elephant parade, or like
they have space for it. They could.
No, they had a sewing convention
out there, don't you?
Yeah,
for
sewing convention.
Yeah, people who just sew mad shit, like just get together and
I think it was a quilting convention.
Yeah.
Like even more
so
specific.
fucking intense.
Dude, there's conventions for everything I found out through doing events. Like literally, if there is a hobby or even kind of a hobby of something, there is a convention
and an association for it.
Yeah, every time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's the crazy ass venue. But anyways, get back to what we were saying. So that was another part of why I liked this year was because the venue.
Yep.
The Varsity Theater was fucking rad. Like it was just a cool spot. There was good bar staff, like good beers on tap all day. And it wasn't the fucking Mall of America, which was sick.
Yeah.
Because, if I have to come to Minnesota like every year for this event and shit, it's pretty good if I don't have to go to this giant fucking mall.
Yeah, dude. I liked the change. It was just getting kind of sterile and old there, and the only thing we lose is a chance to reach out to new kendama players. The sale.
And I mean,
the sales on
kendamas. I would almost argue that we meet just as many people because we're all out on the street. Like, that's a pretty busy street. There's lots of stuff going on around the Varsity Theater. Like, I met a hella people, like, just as much as I probably would have at the mall.
Probably more.
At the mall, nobody talks to you.
Yeah, probably more actual interactions. I mean, the mall averages 100,000 visitors daily, which is an insane number of people. But how many of those people actually stop, watch, talk, learn versus a college kid walking down the street in front of the Varsity is going to go, what's happening here? And actually interact with one of y'all out there jamming.
It goes. Like somebody who's just walking through the mall and sees that it's just going to walk up on it and see it, and like that's going to be it. They're just in the mall. They're on a mission. They're doing something else, right? But like you said, it's like a way more genuine interaction, like on the street. You get to actually like talk to this person, like hand them the Dama, let them play. Like you're outside. There's room. You're not like in a mall full of people and like worried about it and shit. Like it's.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Our biggest worry of not doing it at the mall was that people's reaction to it would be that it felt small. But honestly, the Varsity itself was so epic that I don't think anybody had those thoughts because we knew it was going to be dope. But for people, you know, there are some people who like the mall. You know, there's so many people who I saw who came to Minnesota for the first time and they still went to the mall to do the mall. And us being local, we kind of forget that that's actually like a thing, worthwhile tourist thing. Yeah,
no, totally. Yeah.
There were a couple people who missed the mall that I talked to who just enjoyed it better. It was brighter. There were more. They liked all the people. They liked. You know, there were some people who were just like they dug that and they didn't like the concert atmosphere as much. But that's totally fine. Everyone's allowed to have those opinions. It was on the lesser side that more people were stoked.
Did they not go to the Varsity bathrooms? Did they not see the bathrooms?
Dude, the bathrooms.
Dude, I think Cody was from your story or someone. Yeah.
Oh no, it was not mine. I don't know. Maybe it was.
Who was? But yeah, someone was like, just. I think the beginning of that day of the final event day, I just saw like a story like, look at these fucking bathrooms. Look at it. It's a fucking shower head to wash your hands.
There's one of the edit. We're doing an edit contest that Sweets and I have to pick a winner today. And like in one of the edits I was watching, they're like, "Hey, can I get video of you washing your hands?" I'm sorry if that's a weird question, but they like wanted to like show the bathroom in their edit so bad that they were like, asked a stranger, "Yo, can I video you washing your hands?"
Yeah,
and that's just ridiculous.
Gosh.
That's hilarious.
Good ridiculous though. Definitely good.
Yeah, you can't beat the Varsity bathrooms, that's for sure.
No, that's pretty rad.
But I will agree with you. You said earlier one thing that people liked more about the mall was that it's brighter, and like so there's like it's more like a sesh spot kind of.
People can play.
That being said, like it was cool for us to just be outside and playing, which was just as good, if not better, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have that beautiful day, we may be talking a little differently, right?
I was gonna say that, yeah, totally.
But at the same point, if it wasn't nice outside, more people would have been inside watching what's on the stage, which would have been nice during some competitions. So I think it goes both ways, and we live and die by the weather. But after 3 days of shitty weather, to have it be nice, I would have been outside too. Yeah. Like I would not have chose to be inside that concert venue unless it was the people I was there to watch, right? So I think, but that's gonna happen, like no matter what we do, and especially being early in October, I hope it's nice like that, But. No, we just need to get more people. That's our goal for next year. Everyone, tell everybody to come because we got to stoke that place out next year.
Yeah. Come on out, nerds.
Yeah, nerds.
Unite.
Man, that was something actually I got to shout out all you nerds that listen to the podcast and shit because I had so many people come over to me and like, yo, what's up, Rod? Like, I listen to nerds. Like, people wearing the Dama nerd shirt, and I was lazy and shit and didn't get pictures because I was too busy having fun. But
Rod.
You know how it goes. But yeah, shout out to all you nerds because I felt the nerd love. It was fucking awesome.
All right.
It made me feel good about this shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Rod, you were wearing your Dama nerd shirt when I saw you Sunday morning. We should tell people about that little story.
I was actually on Sunday morning.
Yeah, but I was just going to do my stuff and you had just finished doing what you had done. You don't remember.
I probably do, but I don't specifically.
So Friday, Saturday.
The NAKO hag is real for
Friday, Saturday is our event, and Sunday we have to go to the Varsity. So Saturday night into Sunday is a deep send for a lot of people. A lot of people party Saturday night, and I can't because Sunday morning I have to be up at the venue by 7 setting up and stuff, and I am at the Starbucks in the morning about 6:30 getting my tea to like make my throat feel better, and who do I see walk in the front door with their Damanerds shirt on, and Chris June and another homie in tow is Rod Dama. And he sees me getting my tea and he says, "Hey, bud, what are you still doing up?" and I was just like, "Dude, I'm on my way to work. What are you still doing up?" Yeah. And he just about died laughing because he had been up all night, not had gone to sleep, was out doing God knows what, and was coming back to
getting fucking breakfast taquitos from the shitty gas station across the street.
Yes, one delicious breakfast.
Nah, well, that's a topic of discussion, but
but yeah, so it was just a really funny day to start my freaking Sunday with Rod thinking I was still up. Like for some reason, Sweets
that was such a good moment. Fuck, I fucking laughed so hard. Me and June were just in the elevator, just laughing after that for so long.
Because he wasn't even trying to be funny. He was just dead ass. He was so.
What are you doing up, bud?
I definitely get that whenever I'm walking around pretty much past midnight on any event day. They're like, shouldn't you be in bed? I'm like, no, I want to have fun too. I probably got a total of 6 hours sleep between Thursday and Tuesday though. Like,
ooh, I got more than that. I stayed out more than usual because I had to watch Ben Harold's edit. So we should take a second to talk about that.
Oh my god!
Because A, I didn't know it was happening. B, when I found out it was happening, I was like, oh, cool, like, ticketed show, whatever. And then when I got to the showing and saw how much chaos was happening before by the people who had just seen it and by the people who were in line to go see it, I was just like, what in the world is happening? What did Ben do? You know? Like, it was literally that kind of hype where they had one showing and that was 30 people and then they sold out 2 more shows up until 12:45 at night. And this is one of the reasons why the hotel is the coolest because we got these rooms all night long. We were being so loud and so obnoxious and so belligerent that like any other hotel would have kicked us out, told us to shut up, told us to like get out of here and none of that happened.
I mean, later that night or the next night, I forget which one, but Jake did a 2-hour DJ set in that room from like 2 to 4 a.m.
Whoa!
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
it's like
and no noise complaints, no anything from people.
The American omotenashi.
No, it really was, dude. Like. And the hotel was super nice about it. They said they loved it, and they loved all the Dama players, and you know they couldn't.
Whoever chucked their drink at the wall outside of the edit room, though, please don't do that next year because they're still trying to figure out how to get the stickiness off the wall.
Oh man,
oh jeez,
that's the only thing.
That's literally the
threw
only
their drink at the wall.
Yeah, just whoever you are, if you listen to this podcast, just hold on next year.
Sippy cup next year.
Yeah.
Sippy cup next
Place it down next
Put
beside
that cup
you.
in your hand, bud.
Yeah.
So, Sweets, did you get to go to the VIP screening, or did you show up early?
I got to VIP it, buddy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. It was fucking epic.
Meats and cheeses and wine and beer,
what?
all free.
I went to the last showing. There was none of that left.
Yeah, no, it got pillaged for sure, but
it was really
that was fucking cool.
The whole experience was awesome. I mean, Jake. It's not Jake's thing, but Jake enabled Ben to do all that. Ben got all the money from those sales, and like Jake hyped Ben up to make that happen because, you know, he deserves it. Ben put 1.5 years of his life into it, and for those who don't know, go watch Fringcase by Ben Harold on YouTube right now. It's a YouTube video of essentially a bunch of never been done tricks in kendama. It's 50 or 60 tricks that you've never thought of, you've never done, you never thought were possible, and the editing's weird, but aside from the editing, get past that and just look at the tricks that are happening and try to imagine yourself doing any of them. Go practice. Try to do any of them because it is really like in our world, that edit will be marked in history as when kendama, you know, got changed a little.
It is going to go down in the Wikipedia 10 years from now, like as a thing that changed the world. My jaw was dropped the entire time, and then we had the access of actually getting to see it live. They did the slow mo. I mean, you know, but like telling the nerds, they did a slow mo, different cut of it, slow motion, less editing, to actually see the tricks, and it was just. I cannot put into words what watching that in a room of other people also reacting to it felt like. It was a religious experience, to put, for lack of better words.
No, really, dude. I said that twice that night, that it felt like I just went through an ordeal and I'm on the other side and like I'm different now because I saw what I saw. Like, it's messed up.
You took some ayahuasca and
was
shit.
For
straight
real.
up, dude. That was a fucking journey. That edit is a journey.
And then being able to like talk with Ben afterwards was a really cool aspect. That is like, You know, it's like
Absolutely,
it's getting to talk to a skater who does the 20 stare, and it's like getting to be like, what was in your brain? Like, why did you even try that? How did you think it was possible? And to him, he's like, I got 60 more tricks in a notebook that are never going to be done because I can't get to them all. And it's like, are you insane?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Dude,
I mean, he literally offered up that. I don't mean to cut you off, but like in the thing I was talking about, he's literally like, you know, if you're a Dama Pro player, I probably have a trick that has your name next to it, you know, that I think you should do. And so it's kind of up to you to reach out to me. Like, I'm not just going to give these tricks out, but if you like are interested in a new trick, or you think you have like an idea or you want ideas, like hit me up. Like, I have ideas for days, you know? So it's really cool talking to him afterwards.
We talked about the fact that, you know, with the last, because 2 years ago or 1 year ago, he did the edit premiere in in the Grain Theory hotel room. For
he did
research. What's it called?
Summer research.
Yeah, and of course, Grain Theory filmed everybody's reactions for that, which I thought was a genius move on Jake's part for just promotional stuff. But he, you know, that was 2 years ago. This edit took a year and a half. It's like, all right, in 3 years, what are we going to see from Ben Harold? And
that he's
it's
cooking
probably
up.
going to be,
Dude.
It's going to be. You can't even imagine it. It's thinking of a color you've never seen before. It's
no, straight up, The guy's a machine, man. Like you were saying, like not only has he like put a year and a half worth of tricks, like that motherfucker's holding on to these bangers for a year and a half.
And he's posting.
How do you?
And he's posting on Instagram all the time.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. And he's posting on Insta all the time. And he did tricks in like the Euro GT edit plus like the other edit. And he's delegating tricks to other people because he's just, like you said, just doesn't have time to do it. It's not like his thing, but he has ideas for it. And it's just
which is why it's just such an honor to have him involved in judging too. And like
that's why
you can't second guess that judge decision because he is
absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, we can segue into freestyle judging if we want to talk about that for a smidge, because it was definitely a point of contention with freaking people over the weekend, for crying out loud.
That was a huge point of contention.
Oh, really?
Only two points of contention. There were only two as far as my responses go, but
I missed all of the freestyle. I think that was probably like way too early in the morning. It was like maybe like 5 in the morning or something for me.
It was the last things most of the days.
Yeah, I think so. The biggest thing with freestyle this year, like in 2 specific matches, the judges picked unanimously the person that the crowd did not want to win or did not think deserved it.
Wow.
Like the crowd almost 100% disagreed
Everyone
with the judges.
Booing,
and that
throwing fucking
no. No, but it was
Tomatoes.
like it wasn't this. Yeah, it was like more of a hush.
What?
Because and that doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen that the judges unanimously do that. Like usually there's one who
totally.
But it made me feel better that the judges did it because the judges are thinking as judges. This is the one thing I'll say about the whole thing, that people they're just reacting for Instagram, social media stuff right away on how they feel and what they saw. But if you are not a judge, you are not watching the same thing those 3 people are watching. Yep. It is, as a judge who's judged the biggest competition for freestyle in the world 4 years in a row, like, I am not seeing what you see. You are there having fun, drinking beers, playing Dama, going in and out, doing whatever you want, seeing what friends you want. Like, I am there to judge these people for this minute and a half. And that is my only job, you know? Dissect, dude. And that's what the judges are doing that the other people aren't. They're not looking at how many times this person's been on stage, what tricks they've done every time they've been on stage, how many have they landed, how many they haven't, how much is new. Like, there's so many things going through a judge's head, which, you know, as that being my 2 cents, I also agree that something needs to change. And that it is almost impossible for 3 judges to see everything that's going on and give a good enough score and reaction with the amount of time that I give them, because we gotta go. We do not have time to sit and contemplate. So I love catch and flow style. I loved my judges, and I think they did a good job. I think we just need a couple more and do it more catch and flow style, where it's
the 5 judges rather than the 3.
I mean, I remember. Yeah, I remember the weight it took off my shoulder, and for some reason, I did not translate to my own competition because finding 3 judges is hard.
Yeah,
very hard.
Because it's a big time commitment. So now you're telling me I have to find 2 more, and they all have to be
They
at
have to
this
be
level that
trusted
we
and
all
respected
agree,
and-
because
yeah.
no one's that pissed because we all trust those 3 judges on stage,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yeah.
people just take it like that's what they said and that's what it is.
Yeah,
but
right.
if they were 3 people that we didn't respect,
Yeah.
we would be having a lot longer talk about who judges and why they judge. You know, I don't think it was the judges. I think it's more the people need to know more what the criteria is
Yes.
for judging. And I don't think we make that
Yeah.
clear to the viewer at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
And we probably
That is
don't
a
make
great
it
point.
We
Yeah.
probably don't make it clear enough to the player on stage either.
Oh.
Most are aware, but it's never laid out as clearly as it is at Catch and Flow, where this judge is looking for this judge is looking for this. Versus,
I breeze over it super tough.
Yeah.
Like, we just started. Like,
Yeah.
I really didn't say much about
But-
it. And I fumbled on my words even when I was
Yeah.
describing it. So,
But you and I know what they were looking for, and also, you know, from talking to them, like, I mean, each of those judges has a really unique tracking. I mean, Royce has this whole system of lines and circles and squares and checks, and he's scienced it out that,
Yeah.
you know, that can be another nerds convo, probably, just how he tracks that. But and Ben had something similar going.
yeah,
Like,
and Caleb
it's-
did too. Caleb
yeah.
was going off bangers. Big B
Yeah.
was a big banger. Little B was a small banger. And
Yeah.
he marked if they hit him or didn't. But
Yeah,
Catch and Flow is
yeah.
all on points. Like, I literally have to fill out boxes that say 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 5
Yeah.
out of 10, add it up, times it by 2, there's your score. Like,
Yeah.
there's no... you take the feeling out of it when you have to start putting a point total down. And
Yep.
that's something... I think we're going to start introducing that next year for the event.
Early in the conversation, hey, we're not changing anything for next year, but also we're definitely changing freestyle for
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
It's behind the scenes. You know?
And
That's
Cody...
not so much changing as adding, right? You're adding
Yeah.
a couple
We're
judges.
Yeah.
we're improving.
Well,
Yeah.
Cody...
It's
yeah.
Oh, and should I tell them the idea?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rod more than anybody would get a kick out of this, or maybe he'll think it's dumb as hell.
So,
we'll
I mean,
see
we-
what you have to say.
So each year, I mean, we have to add something every year because it'd be goofy not to. I mean, we did Dama Blitz, adding the girls competition, Am Open, double elimination, all those things were like, let's see if this works. And now, of course, Dama Blitz kind of didn't work because it was too hard to do. But the idea for next year is a performance-based competition. You know, in juggling, in yo-yo, I mean, figure skating isn't exactly a great analogy, but it's one that most people understand. That
Okay.
you know what the run is, you know what the players are attempting to go for, and instead of
Oh.
judging it out of a 0 to 10, you go like, or X Games, you know, like, because the judges watch the street runs before the actual official runs, they watch their practice runs, so you hear the commentators, you hear Tony Hawk going, you know, he might go for the double kickflip
Right,
down the
yeah,
stair.
yeah.
If he goes for it, it's going to be this.
Right.
Taking that to kendama. So probably next year we're going to do an invitational test of it, because that's how we started freestyle 4 years ago, was a invitational only.
Oh, wow.
So we're probably going to invite 6 or 8 players who we think exemplify this to do, you know, to submit their music to the DJ and to have planned runs and more of a score based, how well did they do out of what they said they were going to do versus like, did they beat their competitor?
Yeah.
So something exciting to watch, and also just a new thing for our community to participate in, because I know that I could probably come up with a hilarious performance based on drops and big cups and spikes versus like actually beating anybody in freestyle. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea,
yeah.
and I think Rod, it ties super into juggling in the IJA world.
Yeah, I like
and,
it a lot.
You know, and it's for people who want to do it. Like, I'm going to put out the call. I'm not going to invite people. Like, I may invite you because I know that
Yeah,
you have
know
it.
I'm down.
I know, and
But by invitational, I meant like it's not going to be an open to public competition yet, because we
I'm
can't
gonna-
have 72 people doing this until we see how it works.
Yeah.
But if
That's
people,
huge,
but
yeah.
if people like it and they come watch it and sit down and people kill it and
Yeah.
like, you know, there like Cody said, there's a lot of kids who don't compete and don't do freestyle, but would probably spend from now until next NAKO making a routine to do it on stage
Oh, yeah.
at the event, you know,
And-
and maybe it's even a renegade thing,
Yep.
dude, like at night
Yeah.
that we do to start it off.
Dude, yeah.
I mean,
you know,
straight up.
There's also tons of people who are always like, hey, how come, you know, when am I going to have a sumo competition or a kaiju or a triple XL,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
or
this is kind of your chance.
this would be
Right?
it, or pill or skillbow or any of these other toys that are
Devil sticks.
kendama adjacent that
Yeah.
are still kendama
totally.
skills. Just, you know,
Yeah.
if you pull out a pill mid-run and most of it's still kendama, like, yeah, that should be valued in a unique way, you know?
Yes.
Totally.
So if the nerds like that idea, reach out. Make sure you let them know because we're thinking about doing that next year.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that a little bit when I was in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I like that idea a lot. I think it'll bring a really cool aspect to it. It's something that, like, something I think I've talked about with you guys is that I like involving, like, the whole, like, juggling community aspect, like, bringing kind of that style to, like, the kendama community. Because I feel like there's, like, a lot that has to offer from that, you know? Like, things like this, things like workshops, which is another thing that you guys do that a lot of events don't do that I thought was really cool and really adds, like, some, like...
It's all growth,
word,
baby.
like-
Yeah.
Value.
Yeah.
Adds value to
some
the
value,
event.
exactly. Adds some value to it, exactly.
I mean, that's
Grove
another
took
great
that on
segue.
his back,
Yeah.
man. Grove took all that on his back. Like, we wouldn't
I
have
could
that
see
if it
that.
wasn't for him. Me and Cody do not have enough
No.
time to plan that. Like,
Kendama Institute
yeah.
crushed it, and Kendama Institute is Josh, right? You know, like
Yeah.
he found people who were willing to share their knowledge and passions, and he scheduled all that, and he made that what it is, and
yeah, we're grateful.
so grateful. And also, I can't wait to
Dude,
see
yeah.
it grow. You know, so many people said,
Yes.
you know, we sent out our feedback form, and most of the things, one of the questions is, did you attend one of these classes? And for everyone who said they didn't, they regret not attending Danye's talk or, you know, doing something with Josh, or even the Kente testing is still like under that same key header for NAKO. And
I think it's something people will look forward to next year too. Is
And
like,
people
yo,
will
where's the
schedule
workship
it.
schedule? Because I gotta plan my shit out before I get there. Because I'm
Yep.
not missing this, and I'm not missing that.
And something
No, totally.
something Josh and I have talked about is doing doubles of some things that we think are really important, making sure that on day one, if it happens in the morning during these type of events, on day two it happens in the afternoon versus during the, so it's not the same class both times during freestyle or something like that, where you're like,
or both during like the amateur,
Yes.
so like everybody in amateur can't go
exactly,
or whatever.
Just for like the important ones to make sure that there's accessibility, you know. And we had,
Hell yeah.
what is it, like there were 8 classes,
There were 12 or
12.
something.
I don't even.
Yeah,
That was a lot. Yeah.
It was really cool. I
was
think there was
sick.
probably maybe not so many people attending because maybe they didn't know about it. They were thinking just like it's just a kendama event. I'm gonna go play kendama, get on stage, hang out with different friends that you haven't seen for a year and stuff.
Yep.
So you know it's your first year doing it. So that's probably one reason why people didn't jump on. I also didn't know about it, like looking at the different feeds on SNS until one of the posts when I was like, "What? There's workshops?" I'm like, "What the shit?" I'm like, "This is pretty fucking sweet." It's like it's like a comic book or an anime convention where you'd have people from their fields, like you have like some manga illustrator, you have voice actors come and they do a talk or a Q&A.
Yeah.
It's like including that kind of feel to it definitely changes it to be like an event you have to go to. It's not just the jam. Jams are fucking awesome, but it's like this is a different
It's
beast.
a convention.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Like literally this year more than any, it was a convention of like-minded people hanging out, sharing their passions. Like,
Dude, in like fucking 5 years, you got to go like
Straight
Woodstock style. Everyone bring their tents.
yay,
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's hope. Yeah.
I mean, we would love to do a kendama camping event, like we did. I mean, this is super far off.
Yeah.
This is super far off of the NAKO trail, but we quit doing camp kendama just because it didn't make enough money and it's very difficult to organize things in the summer for kids.
Yeah.
But I think that what I got out of it was that all the adults and everyone over the age of 18 wanted to just hang out and play kendama in the woods. They didn't want to necessarily be a camp counselor.
People
so our
want to
goal,
go drink, do drugs, hang out with friends, and fucking play Dama and just enjoy time.
So we've definitely had the conversation
man.
of booking a campground in like Colorado and being like, yo, these are the dates, show up, and then like that's all it is.
Yeah, and we kind of do have we do have a space that I'm trying to like. If I can get my shit together before the end of the year, I'm going to make a point of like going to it next year and trying to get people to go. But it's called Breath Fest, and it's a slackline thing that happens in the middle of nowhere of Indiana in the United States, and they have slack lines like over lakes and all this. It's like the most beautiful like camping, do drugs, hang out. Like it's a family event, so there's families that come every year. Like it's one of those like a hippie type environment, right? But it's very family friendly still. People do it on their own time and in their own way, and
they have classes. They do yoga and music, and Josh did.
Josh we did kendama 2 years ago.
Joe, Uptown Joe, did some classes.
2 years ago they went, and then this year they wanted us back to host an official comp, and we couldn't because of KWC. But then this next year, it's this place where you bring your own tent, you bring your own food, you bring everything to self-sustain for the weekend. You just pay for the wristband to get in.
Right. And
that's exactly what it'd be. Is like, yo, kendama people, Sweets Kendamas will be here. We'll be camping. We'll be throwing an event with prizes and whatever. Show up. Bring all your own shit. Bring all your own everything. We're not there to worry about you. We're just there to put on the comp. And that's where, like, that's what I want to do. And like, that's a good start to something like that.
Because it's less stress. Can I just... the reason why we learned about this event, too, like, I don't know if you remember this story. So when I DJ'd on Warped Tour 2-3 years ago, something like that, I went to film... a project for the people I was working for is Instagram. I went to a skate park in Chicago, outside Chicago, and met a kid at the skate park who rolled up on a bike, and he and his girlfriend, he was there to sesh, she was there to film him, and I had kendama, and he was like, "Yo, is that a kendama?" I'm like, "Yeah, you play?" He was like, "Oh, I've got like a really shitty one that I got from I won't say the brand a while ago. It's really beat up." I was like, damn, man, that's so cool. How like random is this? And we started talking about like BMX and his passions and the fact that he loves slacklining and all this other stuff. And I ended up gifting him a Prime because Sweets was nice enough to let me go out on the road with a whole box of kendamas to give away in scenarios like this. And this kid attends the Breathe or Breath festival every year, and he set up a kendama workshop there. And when they were doing the paperwork, they reached out to our customer service. They were like, "Yo, this kid's doing a kendama workshop. Like, do you guys want to be involved too? Because you are kendama." And we were like, "Yeah." And then Josh ended up working with this kid. But the fact that it was like some random dude that I met in Chicago at a skate park, that then like getting him a better kendama inspired him to want to do a kendama workshop at this thing. Like, dude, the connections are crazy. I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
That was a big rant for a little payoff, but
no, but that's
sick story.
But that's sick though. That's what's up, and I mean that's why we always have those damas. Like, I personally like to carry like a giveaway dama with me, like when I travel and stuff for shit like that.
Yeah,
and that's so cool that you got to like see that come back around,
not
just like give it and like wonder,
Yeah,
like, that's a special moment, man. I haven't experienced that yet.
Right?
Yeah,
you got to go back to Nepal.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you got to we put a lot out there though as a company that, eventually they come back.
I mean, totally,
so with every box of kendamas I give to somebody, I hope that one finds somebody who's going to help sell 70 more, somehow, some way. That's the goal.
Yeah, totally.
Hell yeah.
Man.
So I have a question. I have a little topic. I'm going to bring it back a little bit. We were talking about the freestyle. We're talking about the thing for next year. You want to do like the performance kind of aspect thing with like no like less rules. You can use any kind of dama, whatever.
Yeah.
So one thing I saw in the freestyle this year that I'm sure a lot of people saw was when George Marshall went, he jumped up and somebody threw him a second dama.
Yep.
And so he was on the freestyle stage playing with two kendamas. Now my question for you guys is, you also said that we didn't really articulate like what the judges are looking for specifically. So was that in that moment, was that George acknowledging that he had lost and he was just putting on a show and like that automatically disqualifying himself by grabbing that second dama? Or was that him legit trying to be like creative and do something new? And if so, is that like within the rule set? Is that allowed?
So
deep question.
Here's how I would answer that.
Let me call my lawyer.
No. Okay, so here's my initial reaction of the person who was on stage watching it happen, and the person who talked to George before he got on stage. George had conceded the loss. George assumed he was going to lose playing Nick in a one kendama to one kendama battle. So George brought up the second kendama and did it. Now, technically, that is a disqualification. Like, two damas are not allowed to be played at the same time.
Right. It's
even in freestyle. Yeah, like, it's supposed to be one, and if it breaks, then you get your second one. So, if Nick would have won, we may be having a harder conversation. Or if George would have won, we may be having a harder conversation because he probably would have gone through. because you wouldn't have asked this question, and no one would have asked me this question until after he'd already made it through a couple rounds, and then I'd have to sit here and backpedal my way and be like, the judges should have disqualified him, But I think that comes back to the rules thing, that like the rules are not laid out good enough. And they need to be laid out better before the event starts. And one of them definitely is one kendama at a time that is of normal size. Yeah. Because Chromies try to break that rule always in the beginning of freestyle world. And that's to me, that's an inherent rule that just like you don't use 2 damas and you don't use bigger ones because it is.
Yeah. But that all being said, I mean, it's I mean, I'm sure we've all seen Lords of Dogtown here, right? The movie, it's what's his name going for a hand plant instead of just I don't know. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was epic. I thought it was like...
But was it in the rules?
It doesn't say you can't do it.
It does, though.
Where?
In our rules. That no one knows. That are written nowhere.
Sweets, I don't think I've ever seen it like announced by Sweets or said by Sweets, but in the catch and flow rules, which the Sweets freestyle is based off of, it definitely says only one kendama of this size may be used. And to the point that Cody is even fuzzy on that rule is the point that the rules need to be clear.
I knew that it was frowned upon, but I didn't think it necessarily broke. I didn't think it was an instant disqualification. I guess that's my...
It is because it's an unfair advantage for everyone else who didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, but what it's perfect for is a performance-based competition, which is also part of what inspired that was seeing him do that, because we have... I mean... George did the two-handed stuff and the ambidextrous. He did all of his 28 Tricks Later ambidextrous this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So if anybody has the rights to do a two-handed freestyle flow, he would be the person that...
Isn't it argued that it's even more unfair then? That like he practiced all year with his opposite hand to be the only one who could do it because... We didn't tell him he couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, we need rules, more clearly stated rules, because I thought it was epic to watch.
It was epic. It was so epic.
So here's an example for you. Like, I've also been juggling a lot. So like, would it have been okay if I used a stringless setup with an extra tama and went on stage and did juggle tricks?
No.
Or is that an unfair advantage? I think that's unfair because I'm adding things to it that makes it look flashier, even if it's not like juggling 3 objects is not hard. Like just a straight cascade and then like Ghost of Lighthouse. But that looks like way flashier than if I was just to pull up Lighthouse and trade.
And that's why we need a different level of competition. That's why we need a performance thing, because I would love to see that. Like,
I think definitely you and a lot of people
please do that. But it is not the technical. Freestyle is our freestyle is very technical. It's not a free flowing. It's not a freestyle rap battle where if you bring out props you can win. It is a. Yeah.
You do your best with what you're provided, just like everyone else.
And, which is why every year, at least some point, Sweets or somebody in our office brings up the conversation of, do we just make everybody play with the exact same kendama so that it's so completely on par with each other.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, you guys did do that at MKO the one year.
The first 2 years we did it. But the second year when people were just smashing their dom.
That I was one of those guys, buddy. You gave me a Black Uzora. Black Uzora on stage. What the hell did you think I was going to do?
You and Sam Cannon just fucked that Dama up.
Oh my god, dude.
I gave you 1 minute.
Over at him, and he's just swinging it like a fucking caveman trying to kill it. Like, it was amazing. Just in the rotunda of Mall of America. Like, yes, come check out kendama. Yeah. It's good for kids. And we're just on stage just fucking pounding these things. Oh, that was good.
That was one of those ideas that, like, in theory makes a lot of sense, right? Like we're going to get to the very end, and then everyone's playing field is leveled. Yeah. Like, no one knew these tricks. No one's had this Dama to practice. It is at the base. And then, what changed my whole thought was, people fucking up the Dama because our Damas just weren't as good. They weren't as good as, whatever. And then I didn't want to switch it to Sweets Damas because I felt like that was weird.
Yeah.
And then thirdly is that, like, we make people work really hard for 2 days, and then on the third day we just go like this. I give him a big finger and say, you can't use that Dama you've been practicing with for months. Give me your Dama, So all that eventually made me be like, we should probably not do that. Even though it's cool in theory, like, to think about it. It's just it was a good idea for a year.
Yeah, yes. I thought it was a great idea, like, just the whole leveling the playing field thing. But then that 5 minutes we got to work those things in on stage, Man, if we got to work those in off stage, it would have went over better, I think.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it still would
the
be
fact
pretty...
that we're just on stage, just like, work that fucking fresh Ozora in. It's like...
I mean,
Jesus
to watch
Christ,
to watch Modi and Liam go at it on Ozuras would be pretty entertaining as well.
My God.
That would be pretty interesting, too. Yeah.
We just wouldn't have as many makes. It'd be a lot more misses.
Yeah.
And they missed a
That's
lot
another
even
thing,
with
too,
their
yeah.
Damas, so it'd be impossible almost. Not impossible, but like with the reshapes, more and more possible, but yeah.
I mean, with the level of tricks these days too, like the tricks are just so hard that like if you're giving someone an Uzora versus like even just like one of your $15 primes, it's like a $15 prime's gonna win every time because it's like insta lunar tricks or lunar backflips and shit, like
very true.
But
yeah,
that's just the evolution. It's just where we're at. The old shit ain't cutting it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Tricks are too crazy.
Yeah.
It's like if you're trying to do a fucking kickflip on one of those first skateboards, the flat fucking plank with no concave, no tip or anything like that.
That's the example I always
do it. Take you a long fucking time. You can do it,
but it ain't gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be easy.
You're not gonna enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be that like flawless fucking like easy just like kind of thing that you usually do.
Even though they're kind of coming back.
Yeah, and certain old heads would actually love to see it happen. It's like a weird.
Yeah.
It's a
it's
a niche within a niche. Like it's a,
Yeah. No. Totally. Yeah. It is a niche within a niche. It's crazy.
Nicheopolis.
It's a little micro niche. Niche. Nice. Nicheception.
I think that's totally cool with maybe like for a smaller event, like for small jams, like that'd be fun to do. Everyone use the same Dama. I know personally, whenever I play a game of Ken, I always like to use one Dama. Like I do like Rochambeau, rock paper scissors. And whoever wins gets to decide if we use our own Dama or we choose one, because I'm at Sioux Lab, so we use our own or we choose one from the wall that we both use.
Oh.
How do you say rock paper scissors in Japanese?
Janken.
Bong.
Yeah.
Okay, that was actually something that I wanted to bring up. Weens was the MC for Freestyle on the last day, and he I could not really see the stage as well as other people, and I couldn't hear him as well because I was focusing on a bunch of other things in the moments. But he kept saying that, like, "Oh, we're doing the Japanese rock paper scissors," and I was like, "What are we doing? Like, what's happening up there?"
But like Modi and Yuturo did it on stage, and it like caught me by surprise because. Well, they did rock, paper, scissors, but the way they did it when they said it to each other was like, it wasn't like rock, paper, scissors, shoot. It said...
No, it's not. It doesn't go and shoot. It goes, Janken poi. And then on poi, you do whatever. You throw your hand.
It's only those three words, though?
It's only the three. And then after that, if you get the same, then you go, I go to show. I go to show. And so it's a 2-syllable kind of thing. And that's when you go again.
And they do it quick.
Yeah.
They do it really quick.
I go to show. I go to show. I go to show.
I go to show. I go to show.
Okay. Maybe that's what caught me off. Because like when I heard it, I was like, that sounded so different. I made him do it again, and they were like, "What are you doing, Sweets?" Like I have no idea. and it sounded so crazy to me in the moment, but maybe it really was just.
And then
it's also an outsider looking in on something.
It would have gotten intense if they throwed in the Achimite Hoi, because there's a second game.
Oh, dude,
I love Achimite Hoi. So it's like you do rock, paper, scissors, right? And so this is like, it's the loser brackets. You get a chance to stay alive in the game of rock, paper, scissors.
What?
So you go like, okay, so you do rock, paper, scissors. Me and Cody, let's go. Ready? Hold on. Do you go on shoot? I go rock, paper,
I go
scissors,
on shoot.
Okay, let's go on shoot. Ready?
Always shoot.
All right, here we go. Rocks, paper, scissors, shoot. It's not gonna work with our FaceTime. Okay.
The delay.
Okay. Pretend I did paper.
Okay.
And Cody's got scissors.
So I lose, right? So now, Cody, you can say Achimite Hoi, which means look over there or look over here. And then right when you say here, you point either up, down, left, or right.
Oh, yeah.
And then so then you would say, look over there. And then right when you say there, I have to look somewhere. And I choose and you choose. If I look the way that you're pointing, I'm out completely. It's done.
So my secondary job is when I'm not working for Sweets, when I'm on the road, I'm a rock, paper, scissors expert, pretty much. Pretty much making kids around the world do various rock, paper, scissors forms. And I've seen the looking game went viral on like TikTok recently, and I've been like, where did this come from? And if it came from a secondary round of rock paper scissors, that just makes that so much more exciting because I've seen that, but I had
good.
no context for it until right now. So that
so
is
good. It's so much. It's like when they do like look over there, the Achimite Hoi, and then like you're still in the game. You're like, fuck yeah! Like you're so amped.
That's so dope.
Just whipping that
and,
head
and then
around,
you go,
getting
and then you
whiplash
just go,
on the old...
then you go back to rock paper scissors from there.
Yes,
that is dope.
It's so fun.
Adding
there you go.
Adding it to the noggin.
The master has learned something new.
Yeah.
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 Achimite
That's
Hoi.
so good.
Achimite Hoi.
So
I'll butcher that, but
Well, you got it right that time.
exactly. So we've been rocking hardcore. There's still so much and can be, I think, endless, this talk. But I did ask a bunch of people from our Patreon, from over at Damanerds, kendertainment, some questions, if they have questions actually for you guys about NAKO, as well as some peeps on the Instagram. So first, from Patreon, if you are a Patreon, you get first dibs on these questions, Q&A that we do for the Damanerds, everyone. And Eric,
support the Damanerds.
Support them on Patreon, stamps.com, podcast stuff, let's go.
How's that, Zaya? So Eric Bukiri, who was at NAKO, and I remember specifically he was rocking the Damanerds tee, as well as Cody.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when you were calling people up, you're like, Eric Bukiri.
Eric, the homie with the dreads, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he
Cool.
sent in a question. Was there anything specific you guys were worried about before the weekend started that ended up working out very smoothly in the end?
For me, it's the live stream. The live streams keep me awake at night if it's going to work or not, if internet's going to be strong enough. And that, I already said that went amazingly smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's not getting calls from the hotel at 3 a.m. Like, that's all that I worry about when I leave to go to bed for the night, because it's just, we're rowdy. So, like, and the hotel was really nice, and most Dama players were respectful. Next year, we just got to throw some more garbage away and be a smidge more respectful than we were this year. But, like, they said that compared to a lot of people,
on Jake Fisher.
Yeah, he's not invited back actually, so he can stay home. Like I physically had to restrain him one night, so that was enough. As long as he's on his Bud Lights, he's fine. But as soon as you get anything else inside his little body, he just turns into the devil. So,
oh my God, yeah.
But yeah, so like. That and the schedule just being on time. Last year we were behind 2 hours the whole day, and so this year we were actually we were on time or ahead of schedule by half hour, and we ended the last day 2 hours early, so people got to go chill before the Down Spike Awards. And like if it doesn't get done early, that just means we have more competitors, which is also cool. But the fact that I know now that I know what the schedule is now after this year, and I know exactly how much time we need for everything, and that was the best part for me, was not being stressed. Like, that's all I did last year was worry, and this year I was not worried and got to hang out. And
also, huge shout out to the hotel again for that, because we were able to set up the hotel space the day before on Thursday when people were here partying.
Nice.
At the sweet shop. I was at the hotel making sure everything was good to go there versus setting up the hotel at 7 a.m. before competition's supposed to start at 11. That was a world of a difference. So shout out to the hotel for that as well.
Shout out Eric for coming.
Yeah, shout out Eric for coming. Sorry for butchering your name.
I probably.
I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Nobody's allowed to use usernames next year because I had so many.
Oh my god! People on the live stream were even saying like, why is everyone using weird ass names?
So that was as registration was rolling in slowly. I was actually like really good at going and changing when somebody was like. Dama Slayer 420, I would be like, no, your name is like Robert Johnson. Like I was changing it, or I was asking people because I didn't want to be on the microphones doing this. And then because our community is procrastinators, there's no getting around that. Most of the registrations rolled in the last 2 weeks where my hands are full with 10 other things that same time. So I just didn't get a chance to manually go in and fix people's names to what they're supposed to be. So you were just on the mic being like, so half of them got resolved. Half of them got resolved, and then all of a sudden, the other ones were just the most ridiculous names ever. I mean, a lot of them were just people's Instagram names, which was cool. I mean, like, but there were a few that were just. I feel like there were a few people whose names I called who didn't come to compete. People who we ended up having to DQ for not showing because you're not used to like my Sweets and I. Our usernames are our names, but if my username was like Griz Daddy, I probably wouldn't recognize that being called over a PA system.
Griz Daddy. That's a good one right off the top of the dome like that. I like that. Nice, buddy. Griz Daddy.
Oh, God. Why did I do that?
Everyone watch out for a future Griz Daddy that's trying to befriend you.
I know what I'm Googling once we're done recording this.
No, please don't. So definitely gonna no usernames unless it's if you go like Rod Dama, like that's fucking your name at this point in the world
basically
too. So nicknames are okay, but just straight up usernames with numbers and letters and Damon Kirschmeyer using his secondary Instagram handle that you can't even pronounce because it's like UOVWP. It's like what am I supposed to? Yeah.
It's always always something, man. We have small things to change.
There was somebody like piece of Twinkie, and I'm like, dude, what is your actual name?
Like,
because I'm not saying this anymore. Like,
I'm on stage giving people trophies to Jersey 67. Whatever. Dude.
There were some funny ones.
Yeah, there were some.
I was like judging the amateur that one time. There was like I was waiting for someone to come, and what the fuck was their name? It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It was like Mr. Cummings or something ridiculous.
It was like Big Load Cummings or some shit like that.
God.
Like something outrageous. And I'm just
horrible.
like standing on the stage, just being like, Big Load Cummings. Big Load Cummings. Anybody know of a Big Load Cummings?
Yeah.
Like the fuck.
Yeah, I think it was like I Am Cummings or something.
Yeah,
it was.
I'm gonna have to go through and make like a highlights, the best worst usernames of.
Yeah.
NAKO.
Shout out like the number one pain in the ass, probably like Damon's.
Yeah.
The one you can't pronounce.
100%.
Nice. Oh
Word.
Fuck.
You got some more questions?
We do got more from the legend himself, Supernog 73.
Hey.
He says, what would you want to change for next year?
Oh, we already kind of talked about that.
More people.
Seems like almost nothing.
Nothing. More people. More people.
More beginners.
More people, real names.
More beginners and more intermediates is always my like hopes and dreams because those are the players who become the Am Open and Open players of the future.
Hell yeah.
More female players because our community can't grow if we don't include everyone. And we can't be stagnant if we want to see kendama grow and evolve. And less drunk Jake Fishers. There's my 3 changes right there.
As well as adding the performance, right?
Adding the performance. Yeah. That's lower on the show.
Yeah. And the extra 2 freestyle judges for next.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
There you go. So there's a few
See,
things.
we already forgetting the things we said.
Yeah, right. Well, it's good. We're all recording right now, so just listen back to the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Now you gotta hold me to it. Yikes.
Oh, golly.
All right, next one. Yoro Cut. What was different method-wise compared to MKO?
Method-wise, everything changed, right? Because the event ran the same. The schedule was the same as last year. It was just in a different space with a lot more organization. So, like, this year, our in-house employees, every single one of them worked all weekend long, and they all had a job.
Hey, dude, I saw your wife was there. Your daughter was pushing damas around and shit too.
Yeah, Cody's girl was there. Everybody worked and everyone did their job. Usually, we're running around with our heads cut off because people don't know where to be and how to do it. But this year, everyone did their job. They did it really well. Nice. They were really organized. So,
I'm not the best at delegating tasks, especially things that I think I can handle, especially last minute things, and having the support of the rest of the Sweets crew and the volunteers. And Sweets' wife was the volunteer coordinator. My girlfriend was literally at the event as long as I was every day. Having those people help us take care of things, and especially the people who work alongside us to make it happen in the office, taking on more duties and responsibilities, all of that just lowered a lot of pressure off of Sweets and mine's shoulders. And just huge shout outs to everyone who helped, all the volunteers, all the staff.
Shout out.
Yeah, and we need more volunteers next year. So if you want to help, there's a t-shirt and a swag bag in it for you, I think.
Yep.
For helping out. So
get on it, everyone.
Keep that in mind for next year.
Right. Follow NAKO on Instagram. Got information on
Yep.
that shit. Last one, Chewbacca 90. He says,
Chewbacca.
"What is the best kept secret that no one is talking about from that weekend?"
Oh my God.
That's something
I
only
mean,
you guys.
Now Rodney definitely
Rod
probably
would-
has the answer
Rod-
more than me or Cody.
Yeah, well,
but like
he would probably have a different side of a story because it's like there were two
I mean,
different like whole worlds going on of people just
to me,
jamming, playing kendama, and then you guys being the staff of it.
we unlocked a new trick, right? Like the wall stall.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
that'll
my
go
God.
down as
That
that happened at NAKO. Like that,
I'll say,
the world
yeah.
saw it from everyone's Insta at 3 a.m. that night on Saturday, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like
I would say the
Yeah,
best
that
kept
was-
secret from the hotel is the fact that they were talking about the sticky drink that got poured on the wall, but not the scratch marks from 30 kids just trying to.
Dude, yeah. Straight up.
Which
I was going to say that too. I was
that
impressed
would be
there
a
wasn't more
great,
wall damage.
great
to be
kept.
honest.
There wasn't real wall damage, and
No, there wasn't. Yeah.
No?
because they had wallpaper.
impressed.
It
which
wasn't
was
bad.
awesome. But that would definitely be a big secret. I think anybody who didn't experience Jake's dance party missed out hardcore.
Oh, yeah,
in the space. Also, like anybody who left the Varsity early and missed it at the Varsity, he DJ'd on live stream until 8 p.m. Like and went in consistently.
Yeah. That's when I came.
Oh, and
I woke up and I came to check on the live stream, and like you said, right? You guys finished what 2 hours early? You said, Matt.
Yeah.
So I came to my computer. I'm like, all right, what happened? Let's see the finals. And it's just like Jake on stage and people on stage,
Dancing,
and Monty's like picture in the back with flames and stuff. I'm like, what's going on? Is this shit frozen? It's on a loop. I'm like refreshing my computer and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I guess, I know Monty made it to the finals. I'm like, maybe they're just cycling through the different people who made it. I'm like, but it's just staying on his face. Like, what is that? I'm like, did he fucking win? And then I'm like on Instagram, like checking his page, checking Sue Lab and stuff. I'm like, but nothing. I'm like, they didn't say that he won. I'm like, but what? Like the whole time, huge fucking question mark for like hours.
Yeah.
Until later. It's like
it is definitely challenging for everyone everyone who has official representation, like showing off things for their brand or for their players is so much harder than it seems to be. Shout out Hone Media. Hone Media provided our
I was
zines
just
and
thinking
things.
about
They
that.
did probably one of the best jobs of actually covering everything live and making story posts and actual posts about it, because they're a media company and that's like what they do, and they did a great job at it this year. Versus like, Sweets and I are the ones with the passwords to Sweets Instagram. It's harder for us to post when somebody wins when we're also like handling the rest of the event, or like even Kendama USA went live for final things, but like probably didn't post right away because they were also then, all right, we got a half dozen players to get dinner for, it's a challenge for sure. And but yeah,
Rod, you have something? Your best kept secret?
Best kept secret. I've been thinking about it, man. There's lots. There's so many like little things I could say. I mean, Jake's dance party was one of them for sure. That was a good one. I did have another one in mind, and then I was thinking about the Hone Media thing, and I got off track.
Didn't Jake also have some weird ass games he was playing in the
Yeah,
separate
that was-
vending room
yeah,
that like no one saw?
It was like
or-
the two.
I just heard
I
about
saw it. I never got to play it because I was just walking.
the human
by and shit.
kendama?
There was like two.
No.
What?
The human,
What are you talking about?
the human
that was on
kendama.
stage.
That was
Who was that?
Yeah.
We
Sweet?
did
That was
that
you
Saturday
guys?
night.
The human kendama.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had people put buckets on their hands and heads and like had to like. You should go watch the live stream. It's insane.
How did I miss
on
that?
their hands
That's
and one
hilarious.
on
It
their
was on-
back.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on their head and it didn't attach the head because I jankily put stuff together from Dollar Tree to be like make a human kendama.
Nice.
And I had a bunch of pros do it, and all of the people I had on stage were like, I'm only doing this because you asked me, Cody. Like I hate like Skagline was just like, I hate this so much. You're lucky I love you. And then Fish and Bonds come in and go, oh, this is what's fucking happening. Let's
Like,
go. And they're
hells
like, they're getting swaggy up on stage. I'm like, of course they are. They're just down with it.
Yeah.
That's definitely a hilarious video. You have to go look up on the live stream recap.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go check that out later. That's
I'm
so
gonna have
funny.
to maybe
Yeah.
recreate that for a Crazy Ken game.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, for sure.
I mean, I was inspired.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was inspired by some videos from some Japanese events that I saw it at for sure. So there's, I love those type of weird, because again, it puts on a performance for the crowd versus for the pros. You know, 'cause you gotta entertain everybody and.
Yeah, and I mean, there's special little things happening all weekend long. Is the point that's being made is that like we could all talk about a lot of the small interactions that we had that made the weekend just awesome, but really that's what makes it worth coming to. It's what makes it worth spending the money and saving all year. Is that like you're gonna create so many memories in those 3-4 days that like you'll feel. Like, people who come can't believe they waited that long to go type of thing. So if you're listening to this, you've never been, try to figure out 2020, first weekend in October, how you can make it to Minnesota, because it's truly something that every kendama player, whether you're a diehard or not, needs to see and experience once in your life.
Yeah, come on. People from international peeps are going.
Dude, we had like 8 countries represented or something. It was awesome.
Taking over the girls
That's
open.
super sick.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the girls won the AM Open. Like,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like, they're insane. The Japanese, honestly, they've won 3 years in a row, dude. So Modi.
That's true.
Dude, they
The
created
American comp. I know. They are the biggest American competition. They've won last 3 years in a row. So come on, American players.
They're pissed off about us winning World Cup a couple of times.
Yeah, they're like, well, now I'm going to go over there to your fucking country and I'm going to take your shit.
That's definitely what it's
coming to my home.
I mean,
Give me that fucking trophy that lights up and shit.
Utara didn't come for fun, dude. He came to beat our asses.
Oh,
Just a huge shout out to the whole Sulab squad holding down every level of competition they did too. Just oh my god,
pretty epic, man.
It was hilarious. I did. I haven't posted it yet, but I did an interview with Ayaka about it, and it was funny to hear her side of the story. Just like, I kind of didn't know the rules, but I guess I won. Like towards the end, and like her being jet lagged and everything, she was like, I was kind of out of it.
She probably did. She not understand the losers bracket thing, like why the guy got a second round against her.
I forgot what. No, I think it was her winning, like first place. Like she was like, wait, so I won. She's like, when I got the trophies, when I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I won. Like,
wow. So she's just going through the motions until she gets a trophy.
That's really funny.
That's one way to do it. That's one way to not be nervous.
Apologies for any names I butchered, especially international players' names I butchered. My bad.
That's bound to happen.
Yeah,
that's bound to happen.
I try to learn when I can. But...
You're putting in an effort. That's more than a lot of people. So that's true.
Well, those are all the questions from IG and everyone.
Before we move on to another question, I actually thought of a fucking secret moment. A little secret that it's actually from the week I spent in Minnesota, not so much at NAKO, but I kind of lump it all in together in my NAKO experience.
Yeah.
So this is something that actually nobody really, the Sweets knows about this, Cody knows about this, MJ, you don't know about this yet. So as many people probably know that Sour Mash was there doing some tattoos and shit.
Pickle 10.
So I was one person that got one of the tattoos, and I got a tattoo on my butt of a fucking Simpsons version of Zawa.
You got it.
Flipping the bird.
You did.
I got it.
You did.
So I haven't told anyone yet. This is the first time that anybody will have heard about it. So the whole thing is I haven't posted a picture or anything because I'm just going to fuck with Zawa. I'm going to tell him that I got it. And then I'm going to tell him, no, I'm just kidding. I don't have it. And like send him a picture of like a fake butt tattoo. And then one day I'm just going to fucking turn on a camera and film him when I show him that I actually have him on my ass. And it's going to be the best
no one
thing
spoil it. No one tell him.
Yeah, no.
So this is the This is the NAKO week secret.
Oh my god! The only one we have to be careful.
Don't fucking spoil it.
Yeah,
bud.
or who else? Kota, don't say nothing. He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh man, I didn't think about Kota. That was what I wanted to see his reaction to. I gotta like FaceTime him and show him before this comes out or something, because he's gonna fucking fall over on the floor laughing. I know he is.
It's pretty spot on. It's amazing.
It's
eternal
amazing.
Now.
Yeah, he's forever a pain in Rod's ass, dude.
Yeah, forever a pain in my ass. Together forever. One of the funny things about that tattoo experience was that, as any part of your body, you get shaved, you get all the hairs off. So I have a tattoo. I have a
Oh,
picture
shit.
of Sweets shaving my butt cheek for me because he's a homie like that. So shout out Sweets.
Sweets never
my
shaved
butt
my
nice and
butt.
fucking smooth.
It may have been late when we started to do that. I may have had a couple brewskis when I
it was
decided to do
definitely
that.
late. It was definitely late.
So
buddy. I don't think we started until like 3 a.m. or something.
So
Yeah,
is Rod's butt hairier than yours, Matt?
No, I don't think so. I think he wouldn't want to shave
Not
mine.
anymore.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that bad. It was just some peach fuzz we had to get out of there. It's all right.
A little peach fuzz.
Yeah.
Oh God!
We didn't put Zawa too close to the danger zone where all the stickies are. You know.
Mash said it was super hard to tattoo though because it was like this squishy blob. He had to somehow like tighten. So he was like he was giving Rod a butt massage, you know, the whole time, spreading the skin out, trying to like tattoo.
Oh yeah, it was really nice.
Oh shit!
Real nice.
That is amazing.
Shout out Matt.
Yeah, shout out
for
Mash.
touching
This
my
is
butt.
all done.
Thanks, Mash.
Sweets. This is all done in your basement.
Yeah, Mash did probably like 8 tattoos in my basement over the following
Whoa.
few days.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. He did my tattoo. He finished up my Mario. He gave my wife a tattoo. Uptown Joe got one. Rod, Royce got his first tattoo ever. Like Mel got one. There's so many tattoos, man. Like Mash kills it. Like he's bringing an assistant next year. He said he could have done twice as many tattoos, but because he has to take the idea, draw it, then clean the station, get all the stuff ready, and then tattoo. It is like it's 5-6 hours every tattoo almost, even if it's small, just because of the process.
Yeah.
You know, he has to eat, he has to still do life stuff.
Also
like
wants to enjoy the event.
Yeah, but if there was someone who was literally taking ideas, putting them into his iPad, cleaning everything up for him, he's literally just like tattooing
setting
stuff.
up for him. And,
So next year, Mash will be back. He'll be doing tats, so prepare.
You're gonna have to get him his own little booth one of these years,
tattoo
buddy.
booth.
Fucking Mash Tats.
If
A little booth at the event.
It's just not very legal.
There's
I
ways
know.
to make it legal. It just is
going
very
through the
expensive.
tattoo. Yeah, because you have to go through the tattoo people of Minneapolis and get a license,
Yeah.
and
We
so we
looked into
could,
it.
but he'd have to tattoo a lot of people to make it worth it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
No, totally.
Oh yeah.
It would be
We'll see
cool.
how that-
It would be cool.
You might need 2 assistants. We'll see, I guess.
perhaps.
I mean, so that's pretty.
perhaps.
That's pretty. Low key if people don't know really about Mash himself and how Dama painting legend, then now tattooing everyone in basements and shit. In bathrooms.
Why not, dude? Why not, man?
Hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one from him next year for sure. I just got to think about it because I want it to be something
It's a fucking
memorable
tattoo.
of the time
yeah.
too. Like
Cody
not,
has a bunch
I have
of dumb tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Don't let him kid
okay,
you.
okay.
No, but that's the thing. Like every dumb tattoo I have has like a tie back to like why I got it when. So like
That's why tattoos are awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to just get
Hell yeah.
something that I could get at any tattoo shop when I could get it from Mash during NAKO. Like there's
There's
Exactly.
sentimental value there.
I'll
that's
figure out an
thing.
inside joke at some point.
Yeah.
I just don't know what
support
that's
the
gonna
homie.
Get Matt
Yeah.
on your butt.
Get mad on my butt.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I was really trying to start a whole influx of Zawa ass tattoos. So if
Well, there we
anybody's
go.
feeling really like inspired, you know,
Just
hit up Mash.
I'm kind of bummed that Zawa didn't come this year. Honestly, that was I love reminding him that he doesn't make clothes for people as fat as me every year, so that I never get to actually buy anything from him because he needs to make. Every time I walk by the booth, the last few years, I'd be like, where for this? Where like I'm too big, and he looks at me and just goes, meh.
All right, nerds. Me and Cody got to get to planning next year's NAKO here. So we've got time for a couple more questions.
Oh, geez.
You want okay?
Sorry,
You guys got the big meeting today.
Yeah, we've gone almost 2 hours now on the old
Yeah, we've
chat
been,
session, which is good,
been
and
great.
I'm down.
We've been nerding out.
Yeah.
Hell
Jim and
yeah.
Hart-
We got to keep this.
it's
We got to
good.
keep
Thanks for
this
the heads
kendama machine running over here.
Yeah, we're
I
starting.
mean, I guess so.
We're starting planning and plotting now, which is the most exciting thing I think for
Right.
the next year.
/ annoying.
Yeah, get ready for like
Slash
if you guys don't get to work, what the hell are we going to talk about if you guys don't get to work?
right. Yeah. Get planning for in another 10 years. Fucking rent out a cruise ship. Get that
Dude.
many people.
Oh.
Go.
Okay.
No, let's not go down that.
Future nerd podcast. I will talk about all of my dream event ideas. One of which is a Sweets cruise
I'm so down.
that will happen eventually. That Sweets just has to take so much Dramamine that he doesn't just vomit the entire time he's on it.
Dude, if it's a big enough boat, you're cool.
No.
I've done 2 cruises and been sick both.
No,
yeah.
good?
So
yeah,
let's just say I've looked into the rates. And I have a document, and we can talk about it more in the future when it's a reality.
Shit. Shit.
But
if you're not down with the ship, what about like a blimp, buddy? You get like a big old Sweets blimp
going on.
That sounds like our marketing dollars put to use right there. I like that idea.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Just
you
fly
can
it
pull
over
a
the
basketball
stadium.
and get Tampax to sponsor it, so it's a big
Oh,
tampon
Jesus.
plant.
Oh god.
Oh, there you go. Sponsors. Let's move over to that quickly. There was some interesting
huge shout out.
sponsors that you guys had.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Wait, was that?
Let me know which ones you're interested about.
Yeah.
Well, I was. What was that? I was looking at. I was just.
We
watching.
take money from whoever will give it to us. Is the answer to your question, MJ? So
Did
I would put
Office Depot sponsor NAKO?
Office Depot.
Office Depot.
Office Depot did not sponsor NAKO. That was a joke that we made
Nope.
during
Okay.
a live stream. Because I thought it was funny because I had a giant box of paper clips or something. But you know, sometimes you just gotta speak things into reality. You just gotta put it out there and
it might
hope
come
that
true.
it comes back positive.
yeah.
I mean, that could be pretty
DHL
dope.
did sponsor. They helped us ship stuff to and from China, which is nice.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
our 3 biggest corporate sponsors were Hanrui Kendama Factory, who makes a ton of the kendamas for a lot of the brands around the world, big and small, and they provided all of the kendamas that were put in the swag bags. So if you're enjoying that NAKO boost, that was provided by Hanrui. DHL helped make sure everything that we had coming from overseas got here on time.
Nice.
Almost on time. That's a whole other side story of everything arriving pretty much the day before. And then Finish Master, who is our local paint company who helps make the Sweets Lab possible, helps make us able to make some of the coolest kendamas. They supported heavy last year and this year. So huge shout out to our 3 big corporate sponsors, because without them, you know, without all of our sponsors, it doesn't happen. But those are 3 of the biggest that definitely need extra recognition.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, I would say the other one that was cool that I wasn't expecting was No Jumper Kendama and Adam coming out.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where he's been controversial in our world, and even us specifically pulling our product from his store and shit when things went salty. And he is a really cool guy, and we talked everything through, and he realized that this is an event for everybody, not just Sweets, and so he wanted to throw money at it and support it because he loves kendama like we do. So it took a lot. Like he's a big man for coming to our event after we kind of, you know, pulled our stuff out of his store, and so I really respect him a lot and thank him a lot for coming and giving us support, because people showed up just to see that.
I mean, so my girlfriend was working the door, and she tweeted about the fact that pretty much everybody who came to buy a spectator pass asked, "Is Adam.22 in there?" And like she tweeted that, and he like found her later and was like,
"Wow,
were you the one who tweeted this?" And like it's exciting because he is spreading kendama to a whole new audience, and no matter what you feel about a specific person, if they are helping push our niche sport further into more people's eyes, homes, and hands, like, you got to give some love.
Yeah, kendama would never make it into any of those people's hands, and I say never. Like, it's not a maybe. It's like never. Those type of and those not those type of people, but rappers, anyone famous in general is hard to get in touch of, and he is in touch with all of them and makes them like kendama because it's just part of his life. So, you know, we'll leave it at there, and you know, just thanks for the help, Adam. I hope, and he's coming next year and competing. He said. He was inspired to actually compete.
That's sick.
His goal is now open ready for next year.
He's been getting nasty.
He's better than me.
He's been getting good. Yeah, we were sessioning outside the Sweet Shop the one day.
He's way better than I am.
He was picking him up pretty quick. It was sick.
He's a gamer. He's a real gamer. He's not out here just playing around. It's cool.
Another shout out we have to give out. Shout out Kendama Cares for running a food drive raffle. People donated double what we raised last year.
Wow.
So double the amount of food. It was
388 pounds.
Yep. Almost 400 pounds of food donated to the Sheridan Story, which is a local organization that helps provide food for kids for after school and for the weekends when they can't get meals from schools and in the summer. And RK came out with she had just had knee surgery and came out to rep and share, and huge shout out and love to her and the rest of her team for helping making that happen, and everyone who went and got canned food and donated. We will be doing that at every event that we do. So bring your food or run to Target, because, you know, Keith Cristobal won a Supreme skate deck, which RK made the joke, like, whoever wins this, you might be able to pay rent with it. Like, you know, there's some real value to the prizes that they're giving away in exchange for helping feed people in need.
Nice. Maybe next year they can get the brick.
Yeah, the brick, you know, just build your house out of some Supreme bricks, you know.
Another shout out to everyone who donated during that live stream. We were happily a part of.
We still have the green hair.
You guys have the green hair, and that's kind of connecting with, you know, stupid things that we do, putting weird tattoos on us. You guys still have green hair.
Yeah. Sweets is somehow getting greener. I'm not really sure what's happening. It's natural now.
Moldy?
Man, it's
moldy.
It's really changed my life, dude. It's changed my life. So instead of being 40 now, I'm now 24.
Yeah.
So that's
he started a SoundCloud. You know, working in the closet studio, making some beats. Yeah.
Nice. No, it's been. I like it and I don't all at the same time. It definitely makes me a kid, like in anyone's eyes. I'm a kid, which is cool because I am a big kid, and my gray hair definitely makes me an old man. So I'm teetering on these two worlds where I just want to be
dude,
normal 31-year-old, but I don't think I can do that.
Yo, keep the long hair, you have the tats and stuff. People will just think you're like, what are you, a musician? What are you?
Yeah. Dude, I was at a wedding this weekend. And
oh my God, I forgot that you went to a wedding with green hair.
I was at a wedding, okay, and it was in a bun the whole time, and so no one really noticed. But then when we started getting gnarly on the dance floor, I took it out, and people were like, yeah, sick hair. Like, people were so drunk and hyped about it, dude. It was, but on my way to the seat at the wedding, this lady came up to me and asked me if I was the DJ for the wedding. She was like, you know, I'm in my nice wedding gear, and I have my green hair, and she's like, are you the DJ for today? No, I can understand how you could see that, but no, not me.
Have you had any people come up to you since like that new Joker movie came out? Has anybody been like, wow, you really like that movie?
Yeah. In line at like Target and stuff, people have been like, is that for your Joker Halloween costume? And
okay.
No, it's not.
Dude, you might as well at this point. You should just do the Joker Halloween
It's such
costume.
an easy send. I have a party this Friday that I'm not ready for, but I may not be going. But which kind of, you know, I mean, are we close to the end?
Yeah.
I guess the last thing that I want to say, if you guys have made it to the end of this podcast, I guess, is R.I.P. Dave Mateo. Yeah. I don't believe that's been brought up on an episode yet, and I don't mean to do it here at the end, but I'm most likely flying to Sacramento this weekend for Dave's funeral. So I just wanted to.
Oh, you are.
That the Friday thing reminded me of it, and I just wanted to make sure I said, you know, my 2 cents about it. And Dave, we all lost an amazing human, and we all lost an amazing friend, and it's still not even real, and it still like doesn't feel real, and I don't know if this weekend will make it more real for me or not, but like I still expect to see him at Toy Fair in February and wherever else, you know. It's truly one of those things where the stereotype works with this type of thing because he is the person you wouldn't expect because of how energetic and happy he always was, and I think it's important that we always
vibes he was pushing, you know.
Since day one, man, like I knew Dave from the beginning of my kendama career when he started working with Ube selling kendamas that were customs out of San Francisco. Like he's been part of my world since I started this business, so it's really like it's insane and really hard to imagine that he's not going to be there and along this journey with us to see what kendama is going to become, because we're not even close to where we've broken the surface. And I think, you know, it makes me sad that he won't be able to be with us to share in that someday when we get there, you know. But I just wanted to give my piece and let him know I loved him. And, you know, anyone, if you don't know who Dave is, go check him out and make sure you honor him by just watching all his videos.
Yeah,
because
and share his videos. His videos are going to continue to inspire new players for decades because that I know so many players, I mean, myself included. I started into kendama well before working at Sweets, and he was always a player to look up for the play style and also just the energy in videos and, you know, the energy in person. And he's definitely left a legacy of continuing to spread joy through kendama that is it's a shame that it's now and not, you know, 40 years in the future, though, you know.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's really sad. Yeah. It's hard to even like put it into words.
Yeah, man. I don't mean to take down our discussion here, but it is our world and it is real life and it is. He was a nerd to the extent of the word, man. Like he was a Dama nerd. So, R.I.P. Dave Mateo for sure.
Dave Mateo.
Yes, man.
Many thoughts to his family and loved ones.
So much love.
Yeah, I want to do something at NAKO next year for him. Some sort of memorial or something cool that we can do for Dave's honor.
Might be a good Downspike award, a Dave Mateo
I was going to say like a Dave award or something.
I was thinking, cool. Like there just needs to be now like a freestyle that's just the competition is just catch, fucking just spike hard, catch low.
Like maybe it's the SPHL comp instead of the freestyle comp. I think we got to do something because there's just there's no doubt we're all there doing that on stage because of that dude trying to push it forward every day.
Exactly.
There's no one that was ever that moved the way he did, and even up until now with how much kendama has spread and how many people are into it, like his style is just unmatchable and will probably never be touched because he was just doing it on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And agreed, man.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's On that note, I guess always remember, fucking reach out to your friends, man. Don't be afraid to tell someone you love them. Just fucking give them a hug, reach out, say what up.
And on the
never know what's
on the
going
opposite
on.
end of that, you're never alone. There's always somebody who will miss you dearly, and if nobody's reaching out to you, please reach out to them. And there's hotlines, there's websites, there's humans in your life who care. So like if you're ever dealing with anything, I think other people can help you.
You can always talk to the nerds. Yeah. If you got nobody, you can talk to the nerds. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You always got somebody.
Most definitely. Well, I love you, nerds. Thanks for having us on. It was an awesome.
Love you guys, man.
Awesome episode.
Hells yeah. Thanks for being.
Appreciate it.
Always good nerding out.
Yeah.
Always good. We could talk about the NAKO, all the NAKO craziness,
exactly.
The NKO business,
future
all
of
that
NAKO.
stuff.
What's gonna be like? Fucking green hair, all the different shits.
Keep your eyes out. We're gonna have 2 more videos coming from Cooper Eddy, another Sweets Life, and something else that is gonna be
Sweets Life,
incredibly epic. We're gonna be doing
next
another
2 Fridays.
Fundraiser stream. We might do 2 this year because we recognize that raising funds for Kendama Institute versus raising funds for NAKO, like it deserves its own thing. And Sweets and I don't mind not sleeping for a day and a half. Just kidding. It was horrible. And then date announcement, hopefully before the new year. We will be announcing so that people have a ton of time to save up. And if you're listening and you own a company or have a rep in a company and you're looking to support Kendama Institute and support North American Kendama Open and the growth of our community and sport and want to vend and potentially make some money for your brand, hit me up. Events at sweetskendamas.com. If you want to volunteer, if you want to judge, if you want to be involved in any way, please reach out for that as well, and I will be in contact with you.
Hell yeah.
Good job,
Gotta
Cody.
Get in there and support the community. All you volunteered nerds, get in
it.
Nerd it up. And you guys are going to be there. You guys are both going to be there to do some live recordings next year, right?
You,
yeah.
I mean, that guy,
right?
Over in Canada. That's another fucking story. That's
just
some
jump on
shit.
that Sulab train and come with them.
Yeah, let's sell some more T-shirts. Let's get you a ticket to there.
There you go.
That's true. That's true. I got a year.
We got time.
I got a year, right?
They're gonna announce the date. We got time.
You got 1 year, buddy.
Shirts.
We'll help make sure you guys have a little soundproof booth at your booth, so you can sell shirts, interview people, make it poppin'. Because you guys are doing something huge for this community as well that hasn't been done to the extent that you're doing it, and it's very appreciated. So
thank you.
Would love to see more people learn about the Nerd Podcast and join this nerd community.
Yeah, right. Get a little insight.
Nerds unite.
That's probably the next T-shirt idea. Fucking Nerds Unite jam.
I like
Nerds
it.
Unite. Right? I love it. Hell yeah.
I'd buy it.
Hells yeah. Well, there's the other way. These guys need support. You always support the live stream for Sweets. Don't forget to hop on that kendertainment Patreon. Support the nerds. Keep these trains running side by side so we can keep talking about shit. Having some fun, nerding out.
We're the mom and pop
stuff.
You got to support each other so then we can all grow together. We're all trying to make it to the finish line together. We're not leaving anyone fucking behind.
Let's go.
No nerds behind. No nerd left behind.
No nerd left behind.
All
Another
right,
t-shirt
brothers.
idea
Well,
right
we
there.
will talk to you next time, my friends.
Yes.
Much
yes.
love.
Yes. And on that note, the nerds are out.
Peace.
See ya.